today to talk about simple but effective ways to help out with debt or maybe just if you're a little bit tight on money. Because most of us, we've all been there. So when you're broke, pretty much you're broke. You know, it's just like, it is what it is. You know, you can't just pull money out of thin air. But there are ways to help if you are in debt. And I have used these not foolproof ways myself. You have to excuse my dog in the back. He's trying to get a Christmas sweater off of him. So there's that. All right, so first we're going to talk about save money, which is the most obvious way to get out of debt. All right, so where it's possible, save your money. So say, you know, obviously you save $1 every day for a year, you're going to save $365. But say you save $3 every day for a year, you are going to be saving $1,095. So say you're looking at this new lip gloss, or you want to buy that candy bar or stuff like that. That stuff adds up, guys. So watch that stuff, because for that $3 to $6 that you just spent on piddly stuff that you probably didn't need or could have lived without, you could have saved it. And in the end, you'll have more money than you know what to do with. So secondly is going to be credit cards. So if you don't know by now, credit cards can be a tricky thing. My dad always told me, do not get a credit card unless you know that you can pay it off every month, whatever you spend. I did not listen. I did not do that. Most people don't. So it can be difficult. But okay, so what I want to tell you here is a lot of people aren't familiar with this, but you can actually take, say you owe $2,000 on a credit card, you can take that money and you can transfer it to a new credit card. Because over, you know, from a year to 2 years, that credit card is actually going to start to accrue interest. So at first it might be okay that you're paying off on that credit card every single month. But after that time allotted, they are going to start adding massive interest to your credit card statements. So hi Piggy. Oh, somebody wants to say hi. So, yeah, so there's plenty of credit card companies out there right now that if you transfer what you owe to them, they will charge you like a very small amount of money and to allow you to transfer what you owe. So say you still owe $2,000 on a credit card, but it's going to start being charged interest. To save yourself all that interest, go ahead and transfer it to another credit card, and they're going to probably charge you, I think it's a very small fee of whatever the amount is that you're transferring. So it'll be like, I don't know, let's just say $200. But then you have another year to two years until you're interest free again. So you have all that time to, you know, let yourself pay off the credit card. All right, guys, so this one seems like it would kind of be common sense, but if you are broke, be broke. So for instance, say, okay, if I think that I'm only making an extra, say hi, excuse you. If I think I'm only making an extra $300 a month on top of what I make paying my bills, so technically I'm only profiting $300 a month, I will put that money away the best that I can. Because on my personal opinion, if I'm only saving $300 a month, I think I'm broke. But I'm also part Jewish, so that really shows in me. But for instance, if you save that $300 every month, you've saved $3,600 at the end of the year. So that also really, really adds up. And you don't realize how much you spend on extra things. So say you buy that dog toy, or you get that video game you've been wanting, or you splurge on a couple nights out at dinner, you know, that's $40. That stuff adds up really quickly, guys. And if you're not paying attention to it, or you don't look at your bank statements, or just numerous things, like if you don't write it down, you know, like I write all my spending down, that stuff really adds up. So just, if you're broke and you feel like you're not saving money, or you know, getting to where you'd like to be financially, take a step back and look at that stuff, and you'd be surprised on how much you might be spending on things that aren't necessary. So next is going to be taking out the trash. So obviously you're not taking out, I like how this video is starring Alice, obviously, in his little Christmas sweater. All right, so you're not gonna be actually taking out the trash, but I mean your bills. So I know plenty of people that have Spotify, Hulu, Netflix, a gym membership, all this stuff, and they might be using one of those things. For instance, they might watch Netflix, but they don't ever go to the gym, they don't ever watch Hulu, and they never use their Spotify. So that right there, let's say the gym is, let's just say $30. Hulu's, let's just round it up to 10, and Spotify's 10. That's $50 right there that you could be saving every single month. So if there's something that you're not using, guys, cancel it, because you're gonna save a lot of money that way. Okay, so this one might be a pretty simple one, guys, but if you're like me and most people I know, you have stuff. So unless you're a minimalist, which I'm trying to work on, but it is pretty difficult being a minimalist, then you probably have a lot of stuff laying around that you don't need. For instance, say you have an Xbox or a PlayStation and you haven't played it in months. Say you have a bunch of clothes that you haven't worn in years. Say that you have, bless you, say that you have tools, or I don't know, anything. It could really be anything. There's plenty of sites right now to make money off that stuff. So you can post it on Facebook. Say you have furniture that you're just like, I never use this table, you know, or I never even use my couch, I'm always at work. Then post it, you know, post it on Facebook, sell it, or have a garage sale. Or there's things like Let Go, and for your clothes, there's places like Plato's Closet. So if you're really broke and you're really desperate, you will sell that stuff. All right, guys, last but not least, this might sound a little weird to some people because they're thinking, how could that really help me? But this helped me a lot getting out of my debt and helping me to save money every month, was trading in my vehicle. So obviously, if you have a vehicle right now that you're not paying payments on, and you're trying to get down, what are you doing? If you have a vehicle that you're not paying payments on and you've already paid off, this doesn't really apply to you. But unless you're spending like a ton of money fixing that sucker up, then it might apply to you. But I know. But if, okay, for instance, I had a brand new Nissan Rogue, and man, did I get myself into a predicament. I was paying like $650 on it a month, and my interest was like 18%. Okay, guys, if you're not very familiar with car payments and interest, that's outrageous. I was very young, I was very stupid, and I just wanted a new car with all the bells and whistles. And it was a great vehicle, but I was dumb. So I couldn't afford anything. I could barely afford my car payment every month. I was like stressing out. I was super young. So I ended up going to the dealership, probably like 2 years later, I'd say. Yeah, I did. And I went and I tried to trade in my vehicle. So by then, my credit had gone up substantially. So I had excellent credit, so I was able to get a very, very low interest rate. So this is where credit really comes in big time, guys, unless you have somebody willing to co-sign on your vehicle. So I went in and I traded in that vehicle for a base model Toyota Corolla. Now, it wasn't anything fancy, but it was a new car, They gave me 0% interest, so everything I was paying was going directly to the car, and my car payment got lowered to $340 a month. For a brand new car, that's excellent, and I was super, super happy. Now I've traded in that car for a Jeep, so, but I still have 2% interest, and not that my credit has changed, just that's what they could offer me with that vehicle. And also my payments are about $400 a month, and it's a brand new vehicle. Now, something I want to point out to people that could possibly be a little tight on money, if you're looking for a new vehicle and you're like, I can't afford a new vehicle, don't think that way, because a lot of the time people think that they can't afford a new vehicle, so they get a cheap used vehicle instead for like $3,000. That is a mistake, trust me. So you can go in, if you have $3,000 just to put down on a vehicle, put that $3,000 as a down payment on a bottom of the barrel, no bells or whistles, basic brand new car with a very good warranty. And that down payment will help you with your car payments to the point that you will have a brand new car with probably around a $200 to $300 monthly payment every month, which is very, very good. And then you won't have to worry about dishing out a ton of cash if something happens to it, because something's probably not gonna happen to it, because it's a brand new vehicle and it has a warranty. So there's two like really good factors right there. If you buy the $3,000 car that, you know, doesn't have a warranty and you really don't know what's wrong with it, say you get it and then you find out it needs, I don't know car terms, but it needs new tires, a transmission, and you know, all this stuff, you're gonna end up dishing out a lot more money in that one chunk. And then probably a couple of months down the road, something else will happen too. So trust me on this, just get, you know, it might suck to get the bottom of the barrel car, but in the long run, it's gonna save you a ton of money. All right guys, so there you have it. I mean, it's very simple stuff, but I have personally done all these things and they've worked for me. I mean, I know that sometimes these little things can seem like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But if you're broke as a joke, and I've been broke to the point where I worked in an Italian restaurant and I was literally taking people's leftovers home so I could eat. And I've been broke to where I was scraping change out of my vehicle just to be able to afford gas. So I know how it feels to be broke, and I'm blessed to say now that I don't have to worry about that stuff. But if you are broke or if you're in debt, these tips will really, really help you. And if you have any tips or advice, I'd love to hear from you. I hope that y'all are enjoying my channel. Please check out my Instagram, Courtney Cox Blog, and then also check out my website, Vital to Your Wealth. And please subscribe and like if you're liking everything, guys. And have a great day, and I hope everybody enjoys the holidays and has a Merry Christmas.